We're talking preseason football with all of the area coaches, one way or the other, and a guy we've known for a number of years. We like Coach Todd Lipe a lot. He's at Ayden-Grifton. And, Coach, thanks for taking a few minutes with us.
Well, I'm waiting to go into the school. It's a rainy Friday right now, and we're trying to figure out if we're going to be able to scrimmage tonight. This will be our second scrimmage if we are able to get it in. But it's still raining. It's going to keep raining. I don't know if we can do it, but little weird circumstance for me. I'm finishing up my quarantine. I tested positive 5-6 days ago, and I've been in this house. I'm ready to get out of it.
So as we're talking to you here on this part of it, on a Friday, the 12th, a week before the season, this will probably be up a few days before with video. But, that's certainly, I guess, thrown a monkey wrench. And look, if one thing about the Chargers program, if they never hear the word COVID again, they'll probably be glad.
Yeah, the other day I was doing an interview with Morgan Ehlers, and he said, "Ain't you glad COVID's over?" And I'm like, "Bro, you don't even know." But at least they're not going to shut down the entire program.
Right.
And I'm hoping that this buys me a few months of immunity or whatever. It's been a while since I had it the last time, so maybe it buys me some immunity, gets me through the season. That's the hope for me. Nobody else in the program has suffered from it, to my knowledge, and I'm talking to my coaches every day about it. So right now we're going to be okay, I believe.
I want to ask you a little bit about last season's COVID, because you just alluded to it there. I mean, I don't think a team was, at least in the local area, impacted as much as the Chargers were. But I mean, with the protocols that were in place, you were shut down for like 4 or 5 weeks. A month. Yeah.
Well, early in the season, we got our schedule got reshuffled. I think out of the first 4 games, we might have played 2 people that were on our schedule originally. And then later on, we got it. And back then, if anybody got it, then they shut the whole thing down for the whole team.
Yeah.
And they did that twice. And then so that's a 2-week deal. And then you're coming back, really not practicing. And, that kind of hurt us. But probably overall, what's been really probably been taking the toll on our program is just our lack of depth, our numbers, and it's hard to get people to want to play a tough sport like football. And we have high expectations. We want to, we want those guys to come in and work out in the spring and in the summer and participate in spring football. We expect them to play other sports, and it's just kind of tough to do all that these days for some of them.
Todd Lipe is the coach of the Ayden-Grifton Chargers. It's good enough. He's been good enough to take some time with us here. If you, go back and look at all those challenges, though, really going into the last, 2 weeks, maybe even the last week. I mean, you're still in kind of a situation to play in the playoffs.
Yeah, well, we were close, even though we didn't have a winning record, but that, they reshuffled how they do the playoffs. It was kind of weird, a lot of the coaches had stopped playing that endowment game because they were taking all the money, and they wouldn't. They were keeping all the money. So we all just said, "Hey, we're not doing it." Now they've rearranged it, so they're going to get their money now.
Right.
They added a week of playoffs and said, "Hey, congratulations, everybody gets in the playoffs." So even though we were 2-5, we were right there on the edge of getting in.
Right.
But
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, but point is, you had a chance, and I mean, I think it was just, had you been able to keep going, who knows how last. I know you're not looking at it like that, but I mean, just kind of. I mean, I think that's a pretty fair hypothetical.
Yeah. We're very thin on a lot of our positions. So if something happens, somebody goes down, we're going to have, and we're not the only team that has guys that go both ways. You know,
Yeah.
we'll probably have 4 or 5 go both ways,
Hmm.
and have to have some backups in there, and hope that, you know, everybody stays healthy, and that's going to be kind of tough to do, but that's what we have. I mean, that's what we got to do.
We've got Coach Todd Lipe with us here. He'll be in the Chargers will be opening their season coming up on Friday as they take on James Keenan, who traditionally had a winning record last year and traditionally is very good. So you got a pretty good opponent right off the jump there. And then at least I'm going off Max Preps here. 3 of your first 4 are at home. I did hear somewhere where it was the first 4 are at home, but I mean Kinston is one of those early games just up the road. But anyway, 3 of your first 4 according to Max Preps at home, which is an opportunity for you to maybe build a little continuity.
Yeah, I mean, we got a really nice field, and we want to be able to get our fans and parents and everybody there. And you know, if 3 of the 4 of our opponents are probably going to be, you know, real contests. I mean, really, they're very talented, and what we do have is a returning quarterback, and he's a junior this year, and he's shown a real progression. Now, he's a very good baseball player, and we don't have him all the time throughout the spring and throughout the summer and things like that. But that is an important spot, and we've got that coming back. We've got a little stable of running backs we like. Just that, you know, we're just kind of thin on the offensive line. I think we have 10 offensive linemen in the whole program.
Oh, wow.
And that's about half of what you need to have a varsity and JV. And that's one of the things that kind of holds us back with the JV, when you only have 4 JV offensive linemen, and then that gives you no backups whatsoever. So right now we don't have a JV program or schedule, because we don't have enough. We might be able to pull some when school gets started, but we'll see what we can do. It's a blessing and a curse. It's not necessarily great for the long haul, but for the short term, it could give you some backups, and you have your hands on all those kids.
Yeah.
There's some pros and negatives to some of that.
You know, they had the coaches meeting this week, and the Pitt County teams were kind of in the bottom part of that preseason voting in the coaching.
I wasn't able to go to that.
Right. So your vote would have counted too.
Well, I gave it to my AD, so really didn't do any good.
Yeah. You always blame the AD.
I had us kind of in the middle of the pack, maybe. You know, I didn't think we were going to win it, but I didn't have us last. I hadn't told the kids that. I hadn't seen them yet. But,
right.
We'll use some of that to try to light a fire a little bit.
Well, I was going to ask you, Coach Lipe, how do you see the league?
You know, I kind of have a little bit a different perspective. I kind of know, you know, like Washington had, and I'm not saying we're better than Washington by any means, but they had the best running back. They had a really good quarterback, and they're both gone. So it's going to be tough for them to be top of the league, in my view. Now, would that make them second? I mean, very, very easily, they could probably get second. So I kind of look to them maybe to take, you know, a small step back, you know, when you lose that type of talent. And that quarterback they had was very talented. Matter of fact, I played with his father, Ray Pippen, but that's a really good athlete, smart, you know, football wise. And then Wes Craven, you know, I always going to have athletes. May not quite be as big as they've been in the past. You know, they're losing Mims. So I'm thinking, you know, they're probably not going to be quite as dominant, you know. And then Southwest Edgecombe, we did not get to play last year.
Right.
I think they may be one of the sleepers. I think they may have a chance. You know, I keep up with Farmville and North Pitt a little bit. We're very similar in our numbers and stuff. So it's going to be kind of a fight there. Green Central, I thought, that was one of the games that, we lost, but it was coming right off the COVID. So we played our worst game of the year.
Yeah.
We had like 5 turnovers. We were doing some really bad things in that. And it was a tough contest right there. So I don't know. I don't see ourselves as the bottom necessarily, but that's why everybody votes. So I kind of put us in the middle-ish a little bit, but we ended up on the bottom, which they won't see us coming. So
there you go. There's the way to look at it. Yeah, absolutely.
Little paper trail right there, so we can tell the kids about.
Let me ask you this as we go into the first game and then just the season, and again, some rockiness with you not really having that one-on-one contact you like to have with your guys the week leading into game week. So I know you got assistants that are working it for you, but still it's that personal touch. But what would be, the things you all need to do to be successful in games, but also, just be successful throughout this season?
Stay healthy. One of the things that, I didn't get to go to the scrimmage, but I talked to them, and one of the first things I asked them, I said, how many turnovers do we have? I coach both the defensive backs and the running backs. So I'm the only guy that's two-way guy. And when I was not there, it was probably a little bit tougher than if somebody else wasn't there, because that's 2 spots. But, that was one of my focuses. But, we just got to keep getting better. And defensive back wise, I think, I've really concentrated on their feet, their breaks and their ball skills. That was one thing I was focused on after watching the film. I got it. Now we kind of refocused on getting off blocks, understanding our lanes. Eaton Holmes had a quarterback. I mean, he is talented just by watching him on the film. But they got outside on us to the sideline probably 3 times. And it was just because our guys aren't playing with their hands, and they don't understand what lanes they're supposed to be in and how they're supposed to fill those lanes. So every time you do something like that, you get exposed. And then what you got to do is you got to go in. So this since the scrimmage, we've tried to correct. Now, some of that stuff probably would have been a lot easier, me being present, but at the same time, I'm not going to be there forever. So these guys are going to have to start doing some stuff on their own too. And from all reports that we had a really good practice yesterday. They met with them. They showed them the mistakes on film. And coaching's not criticism. A lot of kids take it as criticism, but it's coaching. You got to fix things. You got to be adult enough and accountable enough to understand when we're trying to fix things. And it's not a personal attack. But we did see some good things. We had so right now we're 2 offensive linemen down from our starters. Our number 1 running back will not be scrimmaging tonight. So those are all kind of concerns, but hopefully, the idea of getting back, and my situation could happen at a worse time, I guess. It could have happened week 1.
Right.
Or, it could happen in school.
Yeah.
Where I have to miss work. And,
yeah.
So, you can't control it, but we're looking forward to the season, and we're just, it's a struggle. It's always been a struggle. Everybody's struggling. You never knew what pains everybody else are going through. So we're looking forward to it. If we get to scrimmage night, great. If not, we get focused on James Keenan. They're a very talented team, and they're going to challenge us, stop the run. So that's important to us.
Coach, great to talk to you. Thanks a lot. We'll catch up with you during the season.
Okay. Good luck to you.